As a child, we had our best time of our lives because when we go to Dembakunda, we were not asked to farm. We were the town boys, so we received the best services from our aunties and cousins. However, I realized that between Maghrib and Ashri prayers, the men from the village will gather underneath the Bantaba, or we Sarahules call it the Kura. This is built around a huge tree in the central part of the village. And every time after 5 o'clock prayers, you will see the men gather there coming in one by one. Here, a lot of the affairs of the village transactions are handled and dealt with, from financial to social, cultural, marriage, naming ceremonies, disputes within the village is handled at the Kura. Everyone who sits in the Kura will enter bowing down because of the fact that every citizen at the village, regardless of your status, you are not above the village as a whole. I can clearly remember Sambala, who was always called to lead missions as a special messenger of the village elders. And Sambala was a man of distinction. The issues involved typically dealt with range from social to land disputes to announcing of weddings, naming ceremonies, and other issues, and death sometimes, unfortunately. Depending on the importance of the mission, Sambala would always tap 1 or 2 young men to go with him along the journey. And I assume I never had the privilege to be invited. They had discussed how they will handle the matters. Sambala stood up because the elders noticed that he carried himself with respect and dignity. And over the years, he built a reputation as someone who the society can trust. So people would really confide with him, and he would advise people, both young men and women in the village. Sambala stood out also because he had handled all challenges with the highest level of ethics. I know it's interesting to talk about village life and ethics, but these are important things in every gathering and every society. Today, we're here in various capacities, and I want to expand my talk around the theme, ethical leadership challenges. How do we build an ethical network, one marble at a time? I'm using marble because it's an interesting scenario that I want to talk about. Ethical leaders are faced with challenges of looking at the reality without fear, committing themselves to creating and developing daily habits that would have a positive impact on their teams, their community, society at large. So it's not only about business, but politics, family, husband and wife, friendship, VU, network. Ethics is the foundation of all of it. This is possible through sharing challenges. However, the simplest way is by sharing the following within your network. Share your values, share your culture, share your experiences, and the foundation of all this is the ethics that put it together, or the glue of all of this is the ethics. The connections within a network can be very powerful, just like the marbles in a ballot box that made the decision in December 2016. Ethical leaders, in some cases, look like superheroes. However, they're not. They're just ordinary people like me and you. They have blood that runs in them. They have flesh. They're human beings with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and sometimes 2 legs, or sometimes none of that. But regardless of that, what they engage in and how they do it is always one thing. They do the right thing. This kind of approach leads to the transformation of teams, communities, and society at large. So today, everyone here is a leader on his or her own. And I would urge you to make sure whatever you're doing, your basis should be on a high ethical standard. Ethical people tend to approach life by making sure that they do the right thing regardless of who is watching. Don't do the right thing because Safiatu or Astu or Mohammed is there. Do the right thing because it's the right thing. That is what an ethical leader should be doing. They have a strong belief in what they stand for and how it impacts others. I know some of you are wondering if this is possible. And you can continue to wonder, and my answer is yes. My answer is yes, and if you want to be a great leader, there's only one way to take, and it's the way to be ethical in your dealings and your activities. Your leadership style could have a deep impact and long-term impact on your team, community, society at large. Today you are sitting here as young people, but tomorrow you'll be standing here as leaders of this society, leaders of this country, and leaders of your community. Some of the ethical challenges we might face as a leader include the following, although not exhaustive. Adhering to the rules or guidelines agreed on. So as part of a team, whether it's a football team or a business team, political, we normally have rules that bring us together. Make sure that there's no bias. It's not about us and them. It's about the team. Stand by the core values. In case of a business, what do you or your business stand for? Encourage open discussions so that everybody in the team can be part of it. Don't take critics as opposition or anti-establishment. People have different views, and it's always encouraging to listen to others. However, the above challenges can be mitigated by any leader who recognizes, defines, and implements a sustainable ethical program. This can be done through measurable. Ethical leaders should encourage adoption of best practices and mandates and strict adherence to starting with the top. That means they themselves should make sure that they follow the structure and format. An ethical leader cannot say that the working hours is 8 to 4. They show up to office at 10 without no excuse, which is not correct. They have to be responsible. There needs to be responsibility. Every team member bears full responsibility to maintain and adhere to the standards that have been agreed to. This can be implemented through effective communication, publications to show that the institution is committed to its ethical behavior. In case of a business, it's even good for your customers and stakeholders to know what you stand for. The publication will send a clear signal to your stakeholders and the community at large that you are dedicated to uphold your ethical standards. Ethical standards can be upheld through development. Effective ethical standards can be maintained through training, mandates for team members and stakeholders. Our values might differ, but when we come together as a team, we can have one value that would put the team at the best standards. Through continuous development, the expected behaviors can be continually reinforced, i.e., not accepting gifts and entertainment of certain amounts from partners. Ethical standards can be reinforced through rewards. Recognizing and rewarding good behavior can be effective moral boosting for any team. To be an effective ethical leader, one needs to create the environment in which people respect each other. So you have to give your team members respect so that they can give it back to you. Just you're the boss doesn't mean that you're above the standards. Simply take note of people and appreciate them. If a staff member does well or a team member does well, say thank you, congratulations, we appreciate this. In conclusion, I would urge each one of you here to take a pledge that you will adhere to the best ethical standards in your dealings, and as youth with potential to be the next generation leaders, you pledge to make sure that when you go back to your communities, you will see the source of that tree that will provide the shade of the kura under which expected decisions will be taken with considerations to ethical impact and have a positive impact in your community. In summary, ethical leadership depends on the individual. It depends on you and everybody that is here. And it leads to transformational change of a team and of communities and of our society at large. And I want to thank you for taking time to listen to me, and God bless the Gambia. Thank you.